The desert didn't speak, but Fazza understood it better than words. It was in the silence of endless dunes, where the wind carved stories into sand, that he first learned what it meant to stand alone. No applause, no audience, just the raw truth of existence. That's where his code began. Fazza was never the loudest in the room. He didn't need to be. While others chased attention, he chased something deeper: mastery. Every sunrise was a challenge, every sunset a reflection. He believed that life wasn't about what you showed the world, but what you built when no one was watching. His hustle wasn't noise. It was discipline. Long before people knew his name, Fazza had already written his destiny in quiet determination. While the city slept, he moved. While others doubted, he proved. Not to them but to himself. Because the real battle was never outside. It was always within. There were days when the pressure felt unbearable. Expectations surrounded him like towering walls. Being seen as strong meant he couldn't afford to break, not in public, not in private. But what made Fazza different was that he didn't run from pressure. He absorbed it, turned it into fuel, built strength from it. He didn't believe in shortcuts. Every achievement, every success, it had to be earned. That was his honor. Honor, for Fazza, wasn't about reputation. It wasn't about titles or status. It was about staying true to your values when it's hardest to do so. It meant keeping your word even when no one was there to hold you accountable. It meant walking away from easy wins if they cost your integrity. He saw people compromise themselves for temporary gains, but Fazza chose the harder path. Because he knew something most didn't: power without honor is weakness in disguise. And Fazza was never weak. His power wasn't loud. It didn't need validation. It lived in his actions, in his consistency, in the way he carried himself through storms without losing direction. People often misunderstood him. They saw the calm and mistook it for ease. They saw the silence and thought there was nothing beneath. They were wrong. Inside Fazza was a fire that never went out. A relentless drive that refused to settle. He wasn't chasing success, he was building legacy. Every step he took had purpose. Every decision was calculated. He didn't move based on emotions, he moved based on vision. And that vision was bigger than himself. There were moments of doubt. Of course there were. He was human. But what separated him was how he responded to those moments. While others paused, he pushed forward. While others questioned their worth, he proved it through action. Because Fazza knew confidence isn't something you wait for. It's something you build. His journey wasn't perfect. There were failures. Setbacks. Times when everything he built seemed like it was about to collapse. But instead of breaking him, those moments refined him. He learned to adapt. To evolve. To grow stronger with every fall. Pain became his teacher. Struggle became his training ground. And slowly, quietly, Fazza transformed. People began to notice. Not because he demanded attention, but because his presence became undeniable. There was something about him, an energy, a standard, a code that others couldn't ignore. They wanted to know his secret. But there was no secret. Just hustle. Honor. Power. The hustle that never stops. The honor that never bends. The power that comes from mastering both. Fazza didn't believe in luck. He believed in preparation. He believed that every small effort, every unseen sacrifice, was shaping something greater. And he was right. Because one day, everything aligned. Not suddenly. Not magically. But as a result of every choice he had made. The early mornings. The late nights. The discipline when no one cared. The patience when results were slow. The resilience when things went wrong. It all came together. And when it did, Fazza didn't celebrate like others would. He didn't slow down. He didn't get comfortable. He leveled up. Because for him, success wasn't a destination. It was a responsibility. He knew people were watching now. Learning from him. Following his path. And that meant he had to stay true to his code more than ever. No shortcuts. No compromises. No excuses. Just growth. But power brings its own challenges. With influence comes temptation. With success comes distraction. Many lose themselves at this stage. They forget who they were before the spotlight. Fazza didn't. He stayed grounded. Stayed focused. Stayed real. Because his identity wasn't built on success. It was built on values. He didn't need to prove anything anymore, but he kept proving everything through his actions. That's what made him different. Time passed, but his mindset never weakened. If anything, it became sharper. Stronger. More refined. He began mentoring others not through speeches, but through example. Showing them that real strength isn't about dominance. It's about control. Control over your mind. Control over your actions. Control over your destiny. Many tried to imitate him. But they missed the core of it. Fazza wasn't just a person. He was a mindset. A code. And that code couldn't be copied, it had to be earned. Every scar he carried told a story. Every victory had a price. But he wore them all with quiet pride. Because he knew what it took. And he knew most wouldn't understand. That was okay. Fazza never needed understanding. He needed progress. And progress never stopped. Even at the peak, he trained like he was still at the bottom. Still hungry. Still driven. Still chasing something bigger than success. He was chasing purpose. And purpose doesn't end. it evolves. Fazza's story wasn't about becoming powerful. It was about becoming worthy of power. Because real power isn't given. It's built. Brick by brick. Day by day. Choice by choice. And Fazza built it all without losing himself in the process. That was his greatest achievement. Not the success, not the recognition, but the fact that he remained true to his code. Hustle when no one believes. Honor when it's hardest. Power when you've earned it. That's Fazza. Not just a name. A legacy in motion. This channel is all about poetic stories and emotional content inspired by Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum Fazza, the Crown Prince of Dubai. Here, you will find deep poetry, love stories, and powerful lines reflecting his royal lifestyle, silent strength, and emotional side. Backhand index pointing right. Please like and share and subscribe my channel for more beautiful poetry and poems. Red heart. Thanks for watching my videos.